life cost road, this life no joke. So don't look back, cause I'll be there in the smoke. Rising out the ashes, the phoenix, the burn in the rage. We'll hunt you right down to the end of your days. And I'll be right there at the top of the maze, while the rats in the sewer stay stuck in the days. So now I'm coming for y'all, whether you're looking or not, you've already gotten involved. Don't think it personal, I gotta finish you off, cause only room at the top for one gun in the drawer.
Hello and welcome to the DPC Southeast Asia region. My name is Nomad and joining me is Lacoste and Lizard to get through this second best of 3 series of the day. And it is 2 teams coming hot off the presses after a 2-0. It is Execration versus Fnatic. These 2 teams are going to be battling it out. And you know, coming into this series, you see it on paper, you might be saying, well, you know, it's an easy Fnatic victory. But Lacoste, tell me why that isn't the case.
That is not the case because, you know, Execration, they managed to beat TNC 2-0, and Southeast Asia as a region, I think, is the most close one in terms of individual skill. Looking at these players, how they play, you know, at least the better teams that we've seen so far, they can match up against any region, that's for sure. You know, they have the individual skill, team play is there. Me personally, coming from the EU region and watching most of EU CIS, I'd say team play is a bit better in EU, while the individual skill in Southeast Asia is higher. Like you can see all of these players, they know mechanically everyone is top notch. Everyone knows what they're doing. They're pushing heroes to the limits, and everything looks good. But this series, I think it's gonna be the closest one we probably had so far.
May I just say, you're looking very sharp in that outfit. You look like you could serve me an excellent cocktail. Lizard, so taking on board what Lacoste just said, how do you think this one's going to go down? Do you think it's a real opportunity for Execration?
Right, let me gloom a little bit. Let me be the negative one for Execration. So, yeah, we have seen both series, right? Both of these teams have played once so far, and both of these teams have taken down top 3 contenders at least. You have T1 on one side, and on the other, what was it? The Execration won against, or Fnatic won versus T1, Execration won versus
TNC.
TNC, exactly. So top tier teams in the SEA region. However, one thing that I'm worried about when it comes to Execration, one thing that still kind of casts a shadow of a doubt for me, is the fact that they played 2 same cores on the safe lane and on the mid lane in the first series. That was mid lane Batrider and safe lane Medusa. And now my question is, what happens when those 2 heroes get eliminated? Because TNC, they just couldn't find a way to play against that Medusa. The Batrider is obviously a big problem. He's one of the stronger laners right now. The meta allows him to build different items that travels. Octarine core works so well for him. And then you have a Medusa that just basks in all that space that was provided to her, right? So
I just want to see something banned out. I definitely think that
they will try to counter
it. Should be gone. You know, I think they need to remove him from the pool because Ken plays one mean Batrider. I love that people are realizing new item builds on the hero where you have this ether lens that can be upgraded to the Octarine core. We've seen it in that series against TNC where he uses Flame Break, and because of the extra cast range can just use Lasso on top of that, so it looked really good.
Yeah. I don't know how many times you played versus this new Batrider, but it is so annoying, not even as a mid laner, to play against it. To defend the tier 1 on the mid lane is so difficult versus this hero. Once he gets travels and one item, Aetherlance, whatever, he just spams the sticky napalm around the trees, around the tier 1 on the trees. If he sees you, one flame break, you're out of position, and you can't turn because of the difference in sticky napalm and the turn rate right now. So all these small little things plus the item build, they add up.
Very obnoxious hero to play against, and certainly one of Ken's favorites. And Moon plays it a bit as well, but I want to kind of bring up the similarity between Moon and Ken, and generally just the way these 2 teams play, because they're both very kind of set in their roles. Both Moon and Ken are very focused on space creation, whilst, you know, Raven, obviously known for being one of the hardest farming carries in the region. He's known for having an extremely high GPM record throughout history. You know, considering the region, it's a bit different, but he does technically have the highest GPM out of any carry player in the world, statistically. Obviously, with the region and regional play and qualifiers and stuff, those statistics aren't a great indicator of a player's skill, but certainly a great indicator of the player's playstyle. Especially considering Raven and Fnatic, how they play as a team, and then obviously Yo, you know, he played 2 Medusa games, right? Like, the guy likes to hit creeps. So I think there is a huge similarity between the two teams here, and I kind of think that might put Fnatic in a much better place, because if you're playing a similar game, they're going to know each other very well, and I'm not sure they're going to get as easily caught out as TNC are, especially with that Medusa series under their belt. Fnatic are going to have a lot to research, and they're going to be able to come at them with something new. That is the kind of flaw of picking the same hero twice, and as you say, the Batrider as well. It just gives them a very simple way to look at the drafts and go, okay, they like doing this. How do we answer it? But what are the answers to that? Do you think they might be coming up with?
If you look at Fnatic and their draft, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're completely similar, because on one side you had this ultra carry, like you said, right, in the form of Medusa, and complete playmaker on mid lane. On the other hand, you had one game with Monkey King mid and Wisp safe lane. You had your win condition actually on the mid lane with the supporting cast, with that Wisp going safe lane, buying that heart. One thing because of which I value Fnatic really highly right now is the fact that I feel like they figured out the meta very early on. You had the Wraith King safe lane, Puck mid, Wisp safe lane, Monkey King mid. These heroes extremely strong at the moment.
They know how to get the most out of their heroes. If you were watching a Chinese region yesterday where we had like Io as a carry, I believe it was Elephant who was playing it, and then they paired it up with the mid Dead Prophet, where you don't get that much value. But if we go back to that game against the T1 that Fnatic played, they had Io plus Monkey King on a mid lane, which was the 9th most healing done since the Source 2. From that Io, it was like 36,000 healing. Like his item build was really good at that game. You know, getting that Helm of the Dominator, getting Heart, amplifying all the healing, Aghanim Scepter, you know, just to get some more damage. And I believe he also had Kaya and Sanj.
Yeah, he had Kaya and Sanj later on too.
Yeah, it's a crazy build, and he played it really well compared to some of the other teams which have struggled. I think they have a really good grasp on the meta. Meanwhile, Execration seems to be kind of forming their own meta. This Darkseer thing is something I wanted to talk about as well, because it's something which Execration play really well. They played it through the qualifiers, and we saw it in their game versus TNC. Do you think this is a hero which needs to be respected, and do you think there's any answers for it?
There are answers, right? Darkseer as a hero is not necessarily a hero that can be played in any single game, in every single game. It's one of those offlaners. It's a niche. If the game is really good, he's going to dominate. If the game is not that great, he can just fall flat and fall short immediately. Some heroes such as Oracle that are picked right now can completely mess up his laning presence and laning stage. Rupido, however, has done extremely well on both of his games so far. Mars and Darkseer had so much impact, so I'm actually expecting great things from this player. Will it be on Darkseer? I'm not convinced.
Yeah, I think that was more of a hero pairing, because he was paired up with the Earth Spirit. You can't just, you know, pick Darkseer and expect marvelous things to happen, because they won't. Like, hero can do... He needs to have a good hero with him in the lane that can use that Ion Shell, and you also need to cover him with possibly 2 bans, like Oracle needs to be out, possibly also an anti-mage, and yeah, it's also a hero that can like backfire easily. Not the hero that we see quite often, but you know, from time to time he is there, just showing the potential. Like his ulti still very strong.
Absolutely, yeah. And guys, you know, we want to hear from you as well, not just our comments, but your comments matter to us greatly as also. Join in the conversation on Twitter with the hashtag DPCSEA, as we have lots of you joining in. The Execration team looks quite nice, says Guarav. I like the offlane Rapido, and supports are quite nice too. Looking forward to more games. Hashtag Dota2, hashtag DPC.
So are we.
Gaurav, yeah.
Everything's nice, you know. Execration definitely a team, you know, it's a close qualifier team, but Neon already proving, you know, them being 2-0 in the region, that doesn't matter, you know, where you're coming from. What matters is right here, right now, how you're playing Dota, and they're playing really well.
Yeah, I think it's could be very cool to see these another invited team. They could pull off an Asta, and as a qualifying team, beat an inviting team, and that's kind of stuff which we love to see happen because it's just upsets.
Imagine
and it's kind of,
how boring it would be if, like, yeah, we have these 4 direct invite teams.
They're just
it's a free
winning.
win for them because they're
Yeah.
playing against the close qualifier teams. It would be so boring to watch if we have no upsets.
Yeah, and we have upsets aplenty here in SEA. It has been wild so far. And of course, guys, if you want to view this stream in high definition, oh, hello to everybody who already is. They can see every wrinkle on my hand. You can head over to the YouTube 4K stream and see Dota in lovely, lovely high definition. Every single pixel will be magnified for your viewing pleasure. So head over there if you want to view stuff in real.
Oh, I thought
HD.
that was your stream, like 4K stream talking about MMR. Just kidding.
Okay, Lacoste.
Got
I had to go
Got
back
him.
at you, because I look like someone who can serve you a cocktail.
I see. Okay.
I
serve
do
it up.
look. I do look like. I see myself on a camera. Like, why did I decide to go with this? Like,
Oh, I like it.
No, it's
me,
all right.
but,
It's all right.
You know, it's
it's
a bit,
okay. 3 out of 5.
I mean, give me warning next time, and I'll put on my. I've got a bow tie with me as well. I was like, hey, you know what? No one else is bow tying it up. I can't do it, but you've shattered that norm now, so I'm ready to go along with you, ride or die next time. Alrighty, folks, it is now draft o'clock as the teams are both in the lobby, readied up. Let's see what they do as we get some picks and bans under our belt for the first game of this best of 3 series between Execration and Fnatic.
Already like,
Imagine that.
yeah. I can see Finatic like, yeah, we need to ban Ken's Batrider because he really, played it well.
I love-
Execration
yeah,
on the
the
other
Wisp.
side, banning out the Wisp. You talked about it, Lizard, how they figured out the meta. They know which heroes are strong. Like we can see, I've been watching a lot of different regions. And I see some teams like really struggling. I've seen Broodmother offlane in the NA region. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Is this puck though? That's what I'm thinking now.
Puck still available.
So-
Yeah, OD is also a
OD,
possibility.
puck, Nyx, those for Execration, they have to think about these picks. For Fnatic, I think if that puck is available, they'll snatch it. It's
Yeah,
so flexible.
Phoenix
By the
Nurse
way,
Spirit also-
Broodmother offlane.
Yeah, Broodmother offlane 2021. Don't think it
It's
would
NA
ever
though.
happen. But somehow, yeah, they lost the
Yeah.
game.
In NA
as
years, that's still
expected.
in Dota years for NA, it's still 2014-13, right?
Calling the shots, here, firing some shots in NA Dota. They had some good performance on the other teams, but let's focus on this one.
Yeah.
Monkey King, OD is banned out. Monkey King as a laner, feels really, really good to have him on that mid lane. He doesn't seem to lose against many of the matchups. You know what you're getting from him. You're getting that, potentially movement around the map. Other lanes are not going well. He's jumping on the trees, get some ganks going. You have good team fight. I pretty much always say this: Monkey King plus Mars is extremely powerful, and it's something that's easy to execute with the Wukongs and the arena, and it always scales well. So I would not be surprised if Fnatic just decides to go for it in the first phase.
Let's see.
Execration could steal it.
Yeah,
Steal the Mars.
they could steal the Mars, but it's problematic as well. If you take it versus the Monkey King, it's not really the best matchup. If you're laning against one another,
Yeah.
can be a little bit problematic, depending on the supporting cast, obviously. For Execration right now, let's see, and they go with the Brewmaster. All right, Panda is
Good.
very flexible right now. We see it on
Yep.
offlane or 4 or 5. You have that Dispel as well, which is really nice. You have the Cyclone as well versus Monkey King, which is pretty neat. But the laning stage itself is where the hero shines. He deals so much damage, slows you. That's what I really like about him. Usually when I do see Monkey, I like heroes like your Puck that's still in the
Still
pool.
available, yeah.
Not really the best laner. Later on you can catch him. But Batrider, Phoenix, Venomancer, by the way, I had this discussion with some players, and Venom seems to be very strong versus Monkey. Just being able to constantly apply those dots on him. In the
Overtime
laning stage, he
damage
can't
is
do anything.
something that he struggles with.
Yeah, I like seeing Oracle versus Monkey as well, just to purge off the Jingu early on. Not really a long-term counter, but definitely does quite well.
It's
at the
very good with him as
mid-
well.
True.
Like the healing coming out. It's kind of the same concept with the Wisp. They had also even more healing, more team fight.
They go
Okay,
with the
I like
Phoenix.
the response. Like we've seen this
Oh, wow.
exact lane in the Chinese region yesterday.
Yeah.
Brewmaster 5, Troll as a position 1. So yeah, it's very hard to play into this lane. You have ways to ignite people with the second ability from Troll, and it just feels really, really strong. I always say Troll, one of the strongest agi laners in the game, and we see different item builds nowadays, where we've seen some in the Southeast Asia, like going for a Shroud into Aghanim Scepter, which was a really good game for it, but most of the players are going for that Maelstrom instead of a Battle Fury, which got improved in the previous patch, and then getting like a BKB so that you have something to fight with.
Very flexible as well. Keep in mind, this Troll was played on mid, was on safe lane too. Later on, you have that attack speed versus
Yeah, I think
Phoenix, which is nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is like one of the strongest openings I've seen from, the invited teams, as it were. As mentioned before, Execration just seemed to have a pretty good read on the meta, not quite as good as Fnatic, but this opening would lead me to believe that Execration have been doing some serious homework across the regions and identifying what is really strong right now. So I love this opening from them.
If this is the lane for Execration, it's a very strong lane. Like already you can see it. This Troll is
like,
probably the strongest carry right now in the lane itself.
This is like my concern when I'm playing, when I'm watching the games, like trying to get into the minds of the players. You see Troll Warlord as the safe laner, especially if he's paired up with something that's strong as a position 5 brew, which could be flexed. But you're thinking, what do I go? Like, what hero can I get? If I get the melee hero, I'm not gonna get the word out of it. Like, you can't get the heroes like a Slardar, you get nothing out of it. You just get dumpstered. Like, we've seen this exact same lane, Brewmaster Troll, against someone like Mars. Mars has half the CS of Troll.
Yeah, it was with the Shadow Shaman lane, right? Where Shadow Shaman just gets hit twice and he has to abandon. They ban out the Razor, by the way, in the second stage. This Razor, obviously, not picked ever, but if there's a Troll in the game, then you can kind of justify him. You use that leash every time Troll is around, and he becomes useless. So that's a nice ban. What's interesting is not the Beastmaster, but the Quap ban.
Camera shy.
Yeah, camera shy. He's pretending to be a burrito. What is that?
I didn't see that. Is he cold?
Get these guys some
camouflage.
heating. Come on.
I believe it's pretty hot where they are right now.
I don't know who that is. They might have a substitute right now. They're playing with a
that's illegal.
That's illegal.
Reddit, get on it.
All right, Arc Warden banned out by Execration. These are some of the heroes that you have to keep in mind. Like Arc Warden, also Drow Ranger, could be decent versus the Troll. Can be a little bit problematic once those pandas start running at you, but if it's a position 5 panda, you can't really, you can't worry about that too much.
Yeah, I don't think they need to be super strict with the panda as well. Part of the strength of the hero is that you can still afford to flex it to 4 and 3 if you need to. So I think picking the panda first and then saying, all right, we're running this as a 5, sometimes a bad move. Admittedly, with Troll, it is really strong, but you should be ready to flex it if you feel the opportunity is there to do so. I just want to mention Execration have not banned the Mars yet. They've banned Razor and Arc Warden. Could be a concern if they don't get rid of that hero, because Monkey, Phoenix, and Mars sounds like horrific amounts of team fight.
Yeah, it just works well with the Monkey King. This Phoenix plus Mars lane has been popular for a very long time. They decided to ban out Ricky. Something
Some more
that,
meta. Yeah.
Just this Cloud. I think this is the most underused ability, not underused, but something that we don't talk about as much. We talk about the Battle Fury, the Aghanim Scepter, Tricks of the Trade, Blinks, Invis, but Smokescreen is causing a lot of issues in the team fights, where you have the control, especially if it's paired up with another stun. So they go with Clockwork.
Especially if you're playing versus heroes that really rely on their ultis. Like you have Panda, you have Troll. This Clock, it's good with Phoenix, good combo overall that you have something to protect the egg. But most importantly, this Shadow Shaman should not have a game. Clockwork versus Shadow Shaman, even if Shadow Shaman is popular right now, is extremely hard for him.
Yeah, so they flex the Brewmaster back to 5. Mars is going to be the off lane. Shaman 4 here. Looking like a strong lineup from Execration already. I just don't want to see Clockwork as position 3, so I believe it's Phoenix 5, Clockwork, and this is a possibility.
Oh, so it's a carry monkey now. Or could be still off lane.
Yeah, could be off lane
it,
DP, safe lane DP, Fnatic, just keeping things open for themselves.
And of course, we urged you guys earlier to use the hashtag DPCSEA to get involved with the conversation. We're always keen to hear your thoughts. Fnatic vs Execration, definitely hype match, but edging towards Execration in this one, surprisingly. Wow, folks on Twitter even getting behind Execration. We're selling this one well.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the draft right now, I'd still say Execration has the upper hand. Like, their team fight seems really, really strong. With the Mars especially, Shaman, definitely one of the strongest position 4s at the moment, provides with so much, should struggle a bit against the Clockwork, against the Silence coming up from that Prophet. So it's a possibility, like if he gets enough farm, Etherlands into possibly a BKB, or like Etherlands Blink BKB, depending how much farm you can get, but you get so much value from the BKB Shaman, especially in this game.
Okay, Tidehunter banned out by Execration. Very interesting.
Interesting.
On the other side, Viper, just another one of those bans that's probably mainly aimed at the Monkey King. You don't want to have to play around that break ability, right? So you ban it out. Decent laner as well, obviously, in a game such as this one.
Puck is still in the pool. Like,
Yeah.
Puck just feels really good for Execration to tie this one up together nicely, because it's a very limited lockdown coming out from Fnatic.
I just don't want them to be baited into this pick, which might sound great for Execration. That's Lina. Like, if you get that Lina, you have another damage versus high attack speed versus the egg. You win the lane versus that Prophet.
Yeah.
It's decent versus Monkey because of the burst. But if you get jumped on, you have the Clockwork, you have the Monkey, it can be difficult. I really think this is a good Lina game, however, but I've seen so many good Linas just die after
Could be
having
Lina,
good,
could
nice
be
starts.
SF. We've seen matchup Shadowfin against the Dead Prophet yesterday, where Shadowfin just popped off. So could be it.
Could the DP not be offlane though?
It's a possibility. Maybe it is, because now that I'm thinking about it, like, you would still want to have a range hero against the Troll and the Panda.
And looking at the ban,
Execration's not expecting it.
Yeah, they're expecting an offlane hero right now from Execration. Underlord band, Tide band.
So they're expecting the DP mid. We're expecting it maybe offlane. Fnatic going to reveal all. Of course, they don't have last pick, so they could have. It does make sense to pick your DP in the 4 if you don't have last pick.
Yeah, I
then
don't
you
know
can protect it with
I don't
two
know how
bans.
strong DP would even be into Troll on that lane. It's not the easiest lane. With the
Yeah.
Clockwork, it's a little bit easier, but I'm not sure what you would get from that instead of just putting her mid. I guess you get that flexibility, but that's pretty much it. You can confuse yourself as much as the enemy team.
Yeah. Final
Okay,
pickup for
Timber.
them. It's going to be the Timber Saw. Okay. What do we think?
I mean, this is still a good troll carry game with that Maelstrom. There are some items that he might think about, but I would just like to see the Maelstrom from the troll overall. I'm thinking the Fusel, that was also built on troll versus Timbers, but
Yeah, I think the Fusel is just a bit, too
Too
slow.
weak, yeah.
It doesn't give you that farming potential that Maelstrom gives you.
also this pick explains the ban on the Invoker. You don't want to have that Quas Vex versus U2. It builds into fast
Break
vessel.
with the Viper, possibly.
Yeah, break with the Viper as well. Okay, Void.
Void Spirit.
This
for
explains,
Execration.
I believe, their bans, right? I'm not sure, but I believe that they've banned like Storm Spirit, Quap, and whatnot. Or
Earlier on, I think so. The most recent ones were the offlane bans, where they got rid of the Underlord and Tide. Maybe the Tide was earlier on.
yeah,
actually.
Underlord and Tide. Those
that
were
it?
the last
Cool.
two. Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, let's get your predictions for this first game between Fnatic and Execration. Have Execration done enough in this draft to swing it in their favor? Starting with you, Lizard.
It's a tough one to call, really. I like both of these drafts. I might swing a little bit in Fnatic's favor. I think it's maybe a little bit easier to execute, maybe a little bit better team fight when it comes to that. Am I completely sold on the Panda? I'm not. So I'll go 52-48% in Fnatic.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard those numbers, We kind of
52%.
rounded up, but all right, we'll take it. I'll go with Fnatic. I think Timbersaw is not going to have an easy time. He's a hero that falls off, but yeah, that Prophet, Phoenix, Monkey King, a lot of team fight. Looking good for Fnatic here. I expected something different from the mid lane, something that's going to pressure more, I would say. Expecting Shadowfin, possibly a Puck. So leaning towards Fnatic.
Okay, I'm going to go with Execration, and I actually think it's a bit more 60-40 in favor of Execration. I really like this troll pick. I don't think they've done enough to counter this troll pick. I think the hero looking really strong in lane. I think he's going to look strong after the lane, and they've got the Void Spirit and the Mars to play around him, set up for him, get him to blow up these heroes, and Timbersaw, when he gets locked down by the troll, doesn't have much of a game. I really like this Execration draft. So I'm going to go with that, but it's not just us involved in this game. Oh no, sorry. We also have Beastcoast and Black, our father-son casting duo, standing by, ready to get into this one. Guys, what are we thinking about this game one?
Thinking, Nomad, you chose Execration. That's enough for me. I choose Execration.
He's a
Pretty
real
simple.
ride or die kind of guy, isn't he? Black, what about
really
you, sir?
is.
I think picking the Void Spirit into the DP, it's already a bad matchup. You kind of counter pick yourself again. I think the Monkey and the DP are more than enough to deal with the Troll. I'm going Fnatic as well. Sorry, B-Cop.
We're in it for the long haul, Nomad. It's just me and you.
All right, it certainly is. Enjoy the game as we get into it. Beastcoast and Black, over to you.
Into this game number one. Got ourselves Finatic against Execration. Execration looking for back-to-back upsets. I don't know if this one really constitutes being called an upset if they do win. I think they've now kind of proven that they're on an equal playing field.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason why I chose Fnatic this game is I just think the draft is quite superior. It's just tough to lane Void Spirit against DP, who then is supposed to be your Timbersaw counter.
Yeah.
I'm expecting Timbersaw to have a pretty good time up there against the Brewmaster Troll, just a little bit of help. And the team fight just looks pretty damn good, honestly, with a Monkey King ult, DP ult, Phoenix Egg. They have good initiation with the clockwork. I like their draft. It's pretty well-rounded. Obviously, Fnatic coming into this game is, at the very least, a slight favorite.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, we'll see how the lanes play out. I'm expecting 2 lanes to go in the Fnatic's favor. And then, yeah, I mean, they have the chance to win all 3 lanes with the Timbersaw as well, of course. But yeah, if that happens, then it's just game over. Like, you don't come back from 3 lost lanes usually. So they have to make sure they keep the Timbersaw in check, which is possible, especially until level 3. You got the, I don't even know what it's called, the second spell for Brewmaster, plus the
Cinder Brew.
Yeah, Cinder Brew, plus the axes from the Troll.
Yeah.
Put him on fire. You got good tools to deal with him until level 3. But after level 3, it might get a little bit difficult. So we'll see.
We'll see how that lane goes. I just wanted to make it official. I put all my channel points on Twitch on the line. I threw it onto Execration.
How many were that?
7,700.
That is not bad, actually. It's good currency.
I'm just, you know, trying to win some channel points. I heard I could redeem them later in the season for something good. Some
think
little
it was a
army
lie.
men, like the arcade.
It's probably a lie, but, you know, it's not that hard to fool you.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
You're a believer.
I
like
am.
that. You trust, you know.
I've
Sometimes
always
a
got
bit
the
too
faith.
easily, but, you know, it's both a strength and a weakness.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good boundless strike on both Rapido as well as BDZ.
I'm taking a lot of return damage, though, from
Yeah,
the God's Rebuke and the Lightning.
I kind of like that combo. We usually see like Mars Rubik, one of those like big duos. We've seen a lot of combos with Mars, but Shadow Shaman and Mars seems like something that you could have a lot of control with. Make it easy to land the spear. If you've got Shackles, Ether Shock, and they're already going in on a Raven, he's got Boundless Strike to throw. Gets near the tower enough to make sure that, well, he doesn't end up dead. Rapido, though, run down by this Clockwork. Now the Shackles come in. Yaoi over top is killed off by the Timber, who falls to the tower afterwards.
He did not skill any level in armor, which might backfire, because level 3 he's still going to be weak. He needs level 4 now and then level 5. Interesting skill build to get the first blood.
Mm-hmm. Is it
not
worth first blood?
Yeah, it looks like it's worth it at first glance, but we'll see how the lane goes. They can really bully him now. Brewmaster is almost level 3. Level 2 Cinder Brew is going to be a lot of damage. Level 2 Clap even.
I wonder how they maybe can change their fortunes in that top lane. It seems a little bit tough. Maybe catch jabs out of position if they don't want to just focus the Timber, get ahead a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. Now they can focus the Timber simply because he doesn't have the armor levels. So he's going to be weak until level 4, but this Phoenix is very strong now. Level 3, level 2 Fire Spirits. You can single-handedly just zone both heroes as soon as those Fire Spirits come off cooldown. Just do so much damage. You can see the Brewmaster is just burning. Yeah, it's fine.
32 health, has a salve. He'll pop that immediately. I wonder if they then, now that they've pushed this Phoenix out with an Icarus dive, go after the Timber Saw now.
Definitely a possibility, but this lane is only going to get harder for Dire. So at some point, the Brewmaster won't be able to really lane there anymore. He'll probably have to go rotate bottom, the Troll will have to rotate to the jungle, and the Timber will just be left to his own
devices.
Yes. You see mid lane, a lot of pressure on the Void Spirit.
That's to be expected, right? With the way this matchup goes.
And as the levels go higher, it just gets harder for the Void Spirit. Good
Shackle.
Spear.
That'll be lined up with the spear. They have the damage though. Cogs and then the Ether Shock. BDZ getting the kill there on a DJ. Now the Icarus dive away from Jabs doesn't actually get him to the low ground. Timber chain over and Yui is quite low, so you don't want to keep chasing when all of a sudden a Timber can get in your face. He is 1-1-1 now on that Timber.
Yeah, no healing salve on him though, so he can't CS for at least a little while. There should be one coming on the courier. But it's a big win for Radiant, I'd say. It's free farm Timber, the lane is still in his favor. Yeah, it's gonna be, as I said, it's gonna just be tough to win the lanes and get out of the lanes, okay.
What's considered okay?
I mean, if you get level 5 on Troll, you're probably going to be pretty happy because it's jungle. But I can't see a hero that will defend the top lane against this Timber Saw. Like, once he's level 5, 6 and pressures on top tower, I can't really see any hero that can stand there. Like, Mars can't, Void Spirit can't, Troll can't. Yeah, so we'll see what he can do there. Level 4 now, level 2 armor. There's really no way you can pressure this guy anymore. Oh, the Phoenix is tanking a lot of damage here, though.
It's hard to kill the Phoenix, though. They need to get right up in his face, and putting the commitment on the Phoenix means Timber might have a chance to retaliate. Primal Spring down, and the bounty's picked up by BDZ. He's inside the cogs. They have the spear out for a second. Boundless Strike hits onto BDZ. And one shot afterwards to take this Shadow Shaman's life.
Yeah, power of Monkey King. Suddenly one of the strongest. Before he was already really strong, but then they gave him like 2 consecutive armor buffs, which brought him all the way up to like 6. Before they had like 1. It's a brutally strong laner now. And level 3 Troll, you can see he's really struggling. Timber's on his way to 5 already. It's not going to get easier for him.
Not looking that easy. It's looking like he might have to retreat into the jungle and really look to make something else work. This is a Timber in pretty deep. We'll see if any rotation comes in to maybe put this on its head. And, well, I mean, he's just throwing right clicks and they're not doing anything, really.
Yep, they're healing him more than they damage him. Yeah, Timber is of course we all know, he's a terror.
Ooh, Moon's up here.
Yeah, so wants to get the Tower of the Exorcism.
They brought the Void Spirit in. He's got double damage. He'll pop it, and now there's the Astral Step. The Saros is dead very quickly, but this is now fighting into the Exorcism, which is the problem. You've used both your Astral Steps. Ken in a lot of trouble. Not a lot of mana to work with. Has the bottle, but chasing after the tier 1, and one more shot will do it. Ken, he got the kill onto the Timber, but Moon's in too far. And even though the Exorcism's going, he'll end up dead. That's actually a big positive for Execration when you think about it, because that Exorcism was used for a kill, and that will keep the tier 1 tower mid up, where sometimes you expect these Death Prophets to put the pressure on the towers early on with that first Exorcism. I think that works out really fortunately for them.
Definitely. The only positive to take away from that is that they rotated 4 heroes up top. But yeah, it's literally the only positive. Like, you lost 2 of your cores, your Exorcism, which is the big pressure tool, is on cooldown now. And they just overstayed their welcome a little bit. DP probably thought he's a lot stronger than he really is. Especially because he maxed Wave rather than the Siphon. Which is good if you want to just be efficient and farm, you know. But for these skirmishes, your Siphon is a lot stronger.
Crypt Swarm, max level, just well, not doing enough there to get those other kills. End up losing your life.
Troll is slowly catching back up.
Especially with those
level
kills.
6 now, yep.
Yeah.
Close to level 6. So he'll be able to stand his ground a little bit better.
So he's going for the Maelstrom. We've seen this kind of shift over from Battle Fury Ags Trolls to mainly what we've been seeing so far is the Maelstrom.
Yeah.
But not always the Axe, though. That part of the equation has kind of fallen out of favor.
Yeah, Axe really is only for a utility troll, unless there's really a lot of bordering things, like hold that thought.
Ooh, Shackles coming through. They've got the Arena, but do they have the damage to get the kill on a Moon? They've taken out jabs already. They'll continue to chase and look for the Death Prophet. As Clockwork got away, they don't take out Moon, and DJ able to salve up. That almost looked really bad. I believe somebody tanked the spear that was being thrown at the Death Prophet, so that didn't come all the way across and hit Moon.
Hit the Phoenix, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, 5-man rotation for 1 Phoenix kill, definitely not worth it.
If that had turned into 2 or 3, that would have been enough, but yeah, a large rotation for not large results. Primal Spring, God's Rebuke, Mars in trouble, Spear pushes back the Monkey King, Battery Assault, and the Balance Strike. Raven, he will get that kill while the tower top is down.
Yeah, now it's the problem that you have too many problems. This Monkey King can easily bull the Mars and the Troll. Same with Timbersaw. Who can stand up against him at this point? No one. They will need a vessel quickly on the Spirit, on the Void Spirit. And now DP ult is off cooldown again. He'll just need to get some more mana. And then it's go time again. I assume he's just going to rotate middle with the Timbersaw, try to siege that tower together with the DP, and then suddenly the whole jungle is accessible for the Radiant side very easily.
So this is stacking problems, and you can see the 3 heroes topping the net worth are all Fnatic.
Yep. And it's not like the late game is weak either, you know. They have a very, very solid all-around draft. I'm very happy with how they approach this game. Monkey King actually going for the Battle Fury. Not the biggest fan personally. I'm a Maelstrom guy. Because it also is just better with your Aghanims that you will get eventually. Just the Maelstrom procs do much more than the Battle Fury proc, obviously. But everyone has their own preference. Good smoke in.
Yeah, Moon, it's the Arena just on the edge. I thought it wasn't going to be close, but Moon gets caught just on the edge of that Arena. And that's a good kill to get, because you were talking about it. Exorcism available. You don't want to allow that pressure to go onto the tower, and this stops it, and now even turns it the other way with the Serpent Wards committed.
Yep. He will be up in 10 seconds, so they have to be careful here.
Aether Remnant, Spear. These right clicks from these Serpent Wards aren't really doing enough to the Timber, but they do end up pushing back and surviving.
The wards did practically nothing. Took like 100 health off the tower, I believe. Not worth it. Now DP back with ult. Timbersaw is here as well as the Monkey King. They just want to siege the tower. And as we said, just get access to the triangle. Enemy jungle.
They have Primal Split. There's the glyph. Hook shot misses.
Off the mark, yeah.
Cinderbrew hits a couple heroes. Astral Step hits all 3. Now they've got the Aether Remnant on the Moon. They hit the spear and they get the kill. That means Exorcism is gone. Rapido, though, he falls. This egg, is it going to get off? Yes! Yo, we can. Both drop. Down goes RR. And it's a full team wipe for Fnatic on a fight that looked like it was going poor initially. But the Supernova goes off and turns it all around.
Yeah, it's really tough to fight in this Radiant lineup. I mean, they went all in on the DP, but they have so many ways to protect the egg. They have the Clockwork, they have the Timbersaw there, they have the Monkey King in the arena, on the DP, or like rather the ring. They have so many ways to protect the egg. It's so difficult for the Clockwork, they have the Timbersaw there, they have the Monkey King in the arena, or like rather they go all in on the DP. DP ends up dying, just the Maelstrom procs do much more than the Battle Fury. Spirits on 3 heroes, egg in the middle of everyone, and they have to hit the egg inside of the Wukong's ring.
Yeah, Arena just on the edge. Arena just on the edge. I thought it wasn't going to be close. So the combo hits from Fnatic, and on the edge of that Arena right back up 4K. And that's a good kill. It was close. We were talking about it. Closing the gap. 1K available. Execration. You don't want to allow that pressure to go onto the tower. But that is exactly the team fight you need from Fnatic to extend that lead and really secure yourself to this mid game.
Yeah. So the problem now is that Monkey King almost has his Battle Fury completed, whereas the Troll is still struggling to get his Maelstrom.
Yeah.
And we have seen the story countless times. Like if the carry just gets too big, you know, he's just going to take over the game. You can't kill him anymore. Too much health, too much armor to work with. And it's not only him. The Timbersaw, the DP, they're all very, very huge. Another smoke in here. check Gill, ward trap.
Yeah, Moon getting caught, getting killed, and Ken gets credit for that one. They've got the cogs around this clockwork, or well, he's cogged himself, but they don't get the kill. They actually take out DJ's courier though, so a little bit more gold going their way if they can't get that kill.
Yep. Not all that shabby. They don't have Rasta wards for the mid tower now though. So it's probably going to be another defense from the Fnatic team. DP up to 10.
They don't really do a lot of damage to the tower, right?
Yep. Timbersaw just TP's in and they all back off. They don't have enough damage to take him down at all. Yeah.
Where does that change? Where does like that ability to take these objectives change? Is it just a lot of time that you're waiting for the troll to be able to eventually get some space to get through these towers?
They're lacking damage. And the problem is Void Spirit is not building into damage. I thought he was going to go Vessel, but instead he's going for Yules, which is